we have talked about using surveys as a data collection method. And now that most of our things are done online, we shall talk about one effective way of conducting online surveys using Google Forms. So to go to this menu that you're actually seeing, we can go to our email, Gmail for that matter, and go to the Google Apps Launcher, which is this 9 buttons here. Once you click that, you would see this menu and you just scroll down until you find Forms. Once you click this one, you will arrive at this menu page that you are seeing right now. So, we will learn how to create survey questionnaires in Google Forms. So, to start off, we click blank. And this is what we would see. So, first, First, let us set up our form so that it would be a survey. So we click the gears for settings. So here are some of the general settings that we would have. First, should we collect the email addresses of our respondents? If we click that, then you will be asked if you would like to give response receipts. Response receipts are where respondents receive a copy of their responses if they answer the specific survey. If you would like that, you can click that, and you have an option to have this if the respondent wants a copy of their questions, or you can always give it to them. But if you don't want to collect email addresses, you will not have the response receipt option. Now, would you be requiring them to sign in? Since the Gmail I am using is under Southwell, that's why I have this option. Now, if you would be required to sign in, or if you will require your respondents to sign in, then it will be limited to one response. Now, would you like your respondents to edit after they submit? Or would you like them to see summary charts and text responses? Then you may click this one. But usually, we don't touch this anymore. Now, if you would like your form to be open to everyone, then you will not be clicking this one. So, let's go to presentation. Would you like to show them the progress bar? Would you like the questions to be shuffled? Would you like them to show link to submit another response? Since we usually we're going to do a survey, we don't would like this, so we would click that, but we can take this on, so at least the respondents know how they are doing so far. And then, if you would like to have a confirmation message that they are done, then you can have this one as well. We shall not touch this settings of quizzes because we are doing an online survey. So if we are done with that, we can click Save. Now, this button here is to customize the theme if you would like to change the color. This one is to set the preview of the form, what it will look like when respondents will receive it, and we'll look at that in a while. So, we shall now edit the form. So you shall name your form in whatever form you like depending on your questionnaire. So you may say questionnaire. Oops, there we go. Then you can write a description if you would like. Now, the first that you would usually write is either a name or a code or anything that you would like your respondents to have. So if it is a name that you would like to put, you put the question of name. And as you can see, Google Forms was able to read that what you need is a short answer. So that's why we have it here. Now, if you would like your respondents not to skip this question, we click required. That would mean that the respondents cannot skip or go to the next page without answering this question. Now, if you would like to add a question, we click this button here, Add Question. If you would have another thing to ask, such as age, and it will be read again, like this one. And Google Forms already sorted out that the answer should be required as a number. There we go. You can add more to this one here. Now, if you would like to go to another section, usually in written or in paper surveys, there's part 1 and part 2. So to indicate that part 1 and part 2, we shall add another section. So we shall click this one, add section, and we can say part 1. So there we go. And then we add another question. Now, here, as you might have noticed previously, Google Forms automatically reads depending on what you type as a question. But if your question will now be specific, you now have to choose what type of answers your respondents would get. Would it be a multiple choice question? Will it be a checkbox question, check all that apply? Will it be a drop down question, wherein the options will be given by a drop-down menu? Will you ask them to upload a file? Will you ask them to answer a linear scale like what we've seen in the video lecture on data collection? Or would you like them to have a multiple choice grid or a checkbox grid or a date or a time input? So let's show the usual one that we use in the survey, which is a linear scale. So we would have this one. So for example, I will not give any questions, just question 1. And then we can put labels if we would like. As usually the strongly disagree, disagree, and so on. So let's put that. Oops. Strongly, strongly disagree, disagree. And the last one would be strongly agree. So now we would have that as required. And once we go to the next question, we would see what it looks like here. Much more like of our semantic differential scale. Now, if we would like to have some sort of linear scale, then we can have here, or not linear rather, but Likert scale, you can choose the multiple choice grid, and therefore you would have here the rows, but these rows will serve as multiple questions or sub-questions, while the columns now will serve as your either strongly disagree, disagree, strongly agree, neutral, sorry, not strongly agree, but disagree, neutral, agree, and strongly agree. So once we have that, and I will have another one, then this is what it will look like. So now, these are some of the basic things that we would have if we would like to have Google Forms as our survey questionnaire site to use. If you would like to see what it looks like when respondents receive it, you may click this one here. And this is what they would usually see. Since we made another section, we would not see the questions there until we click next. And we can click next if we haven't answered the required ones. And that is one of the basic controls of Google Forms. You may explore more if you want to do more.